Welcome in on this Friday. Janae Hancock here with Taylor Johnson. We officially made it, Taylor.
We did. It's feeling like Friday. I have on jeans.
It's been a week. I know. She's very relaxed today. You guys are missing. You only see the top up, but that's how we like it because sometimes I have a blanket as well. So we did make it to Friday. That's always good news. But we do also need to get to your local news. Turning now to your headline, something that you may have seen all week long, something that's been going on across the country, but it's also impacting us here at home. So travelers in Kansas City, get ready. Some of the nation's top airports may deny your flight from pulling in today. Today, the FAA is rolling back on how many planes are in the air, and it's because of a lack of air traffic controllers on hand.
And as we've shared with you before, these flight reductions, they're affecting 40 of the biggest airports across the United States, from Denver to Chicago to LA and even New York City. The FAA says this is an emergency order and that the cuts will be phased in over the next week, peaking at 10%.
Now, if your flight gets canceled or even delayed, you do have rights about what you are owed. We have a full breakdown of what it's covered for in this story on the KCTV5 News app, and you can also find it in the top stories section.
All right. Well, as the government shutdown continues, 42 million Americans, they don't know if they'll have money to put food on the table this weekend, let alone in a few weeks for Thanksgiving. From announcements from the Trump administration to court orders, families are dealing with whiplash like they've never seen before. Our KCTV5's Gabby Luma has been following the SNAP funding debacle closely.
I'm KCTV5's Gabby Luma here at Hy-Vee. It's just one of the many different grocery stores throughout the Kansas City area that are offering discounted meals and also free meals for kids with the SNAP benefit funding lapse in the month of November. Now, right now, the update with this, there's been a lot of news. The Trump administration yesterday was ordered by a federal judge to fully fund SNAP benefits for the month of November. This was after the Trump administration came out and said this week they were going to fund 65% of the program instead of just half, which is what they promised on Monday. Now, the Trump administration has appealed this ruling by that federal judge, so it's still unclear when anyone will see these payments. I know that they were supposed to be made today. Many of you may be expecting them. It is unlikely you will receive them today. We're still working on learning more details about an exact timeline, again, when you will get those funds. But in the meantime, if anyone needs help out there, there are plenty of resources. If you go to our KCTV5 website or our app, you just type in SNAP in the search bar and it'll pull up multiple stories that we've done over the past couple of weeks that will give you those resources.
Again, that is KCTV5's Gabby Luma reporting, and we want to give you a clearer picture of the impact of SNAP cuts. In the state of Missouri, 10% of the state is on food assistance, and in Kansas, 6.4%. In total, that's more than 843,000 people. In Missouri, Governor Mike Kehoe moved $15 million to feed seniors and fund food banks. In Kansas, the state has not yet taken action to replace SNAP.
But there are some organizations that are helping to take action with this. More businesses, they are stepping up to fill the immediate gaps. And Price Chopper, they donated 18,000 pounds of food to harvesters. The nonprofit says the donation will go a long way to help the families at risk of going hungry.
We do want to move on to our other local news headlines now. A Mizzou freshman is accused of choking someone on campus after being blocked on Snapchat. 18-year-old Maxwell Warren from Overland Park pleaded not guilty to domestic assault and burglary charges. Police say that he forced his way into a dorm room and attacked the victim twice over several weeks.
Westview Elementary, they now have their new marching orders. 120 students will be sent to Rolling Ridge Elementary School. The Olathe School Board made the decision last night. Now, if you remember, Westview is closing as a traditional school and will become an alternative education center. The change will go into place for the 2026-2027 school year.
Kansas City officials say that they have officially reached a settlement with former city manager Brian Platt. He was ousted earlier this year. It's after the city lost a lawsuit where Platt was accused of encouraging staff to lie to the media. We are still working to learn the total cost of the settlement.
Well, the Metro is getting a new place to catch some live music under the stars. Morton Salt, they bought the naming rights to Riverside's new outdoor venue. The Morton Amphitheater broke ground more than a year ago, and the city wants it ready by the time the World Cup comes to town.
Alrighty, moving to a story that I am excited about personally. Barbecue lovers, get ready to mark your calendars. Q39 is expanding to Lee Summit, and they broke ground at around 10 this morning. The popular barbecue spot will be part of the new Oldham Village development at 291 Highway and 50. It'll be their 4th location when it opens in mid-2026. And I'll be there, Taylor.
Yeah, you can never have too much Q39.
No, I love Q39.
Food
That's
is
one
so
of my
good.
faves.
That's where Morgan Freeman went.
It
when
is,
he was in
when
town.
he came to Kansas City. That's right.
Love that. Okay, so we do have a safety alert for you this morning. Winter-like conditions are heading our way. We're really going to feel it this weekend. So you must prepare now by reviewing the 4 Ps. So that's people, pets, plants, and pipes. Dress in layers and check on your vulnerable neighbors. And if you're using a space heater, please keep it on a hard, non-flammable surface and keep it far away from anything that can catch fire. And if you do feel cold, your dogs and cats probably feel cold too. So bring them inside. And plants, they also need protection. So bring them in or cover with fabric. And also, before you head to bed on Saturday night, because Sunday morning is when we're really going to feel the chill, make sure you open your sink cabinets to expose your pipes to warm air and disconnect your water hoses. That's the last thing you want are those issues.
And I know it says before you go to bed Saturday night, but even if you're heading out of town this weekend as well, you definitely want to make sure you do that. I know I have forgotten to do that, and I've been stressed during my trip. So definitely keep that in mind. Now, moving along, many of you joined us in our mission to keep families warm during the upcoming bitter cold months, and you donated coats, scarves, blankets, and more. It was all part of our Project Warmth campaign just last week. And right now, it's all being sorted through. So our goal is to collect 10,000 cold weather items this year. The Salvation Army described this year's coat collection as phenomenal.
So turnout was fantastic. Sorting has been phenomenal. We've had a couple different corporate organizations out to help us get everything sorted and counted. Thank you to you guys, and thank you to everyone in the community that helped keep our community warm this year.
So we will know exactly how many people we were able to help later on today. So stay tuned for that. But we do want to sincerely thank everyone who stopped by KCTV5, Sam's Clubs, and Optum community centers to donate last week.
Yep, certainly could not do this without the community. That is for sure. Okay, so let's talk some more about the holiday season. I mean, can we get enough of that, Janae? I don't think so.
I'm claiming to be the Mariah Carey of the newsroom.
It's holiday time. It's time. So tonight, the families of fallen law enforcement officials will help light the official Christmas tree in Kansas City, Kansas. Arts and crafts, face painting, photos with Santa and Mrs. Claus, and holiday movies are expected. Serving as this year's Grand Marshal is Missouri native and actor Anthony Hill. We sat down with the Grey's Anatomy actor to talk about what it means to take on this role.
Big deal, man. I'm extremely pumped. I mean, to be asked to do something like this has always been, I don't know, I've gone to things like this when I was younger. So to be a part of turning on the lights on a ceremony like this is pretty special for me. It sounds cliche, but I got to hit up the barbecue spots. And they just don't have it in LA. Not like I mean, they have everything in LA, yeah, but it's not the same. Kansas City barbecue is one of a kind. And you know what? I like to hit them all up, but I like slaps a lot.
I have not had slaps. Have you?
I have not had slaps. I keep hearing about it, but I have not had slaps just yet.
All right. Well, if the Hollywood stars are going to slaps, we need to go to slaps, okay? With the unified government of Wyandotte County, they say the festival will kick off between 4 and 7 o'clock tonight at Memorial Hall. So that should be nice.
I know, something to look forward to as we kick off the holiday season. And of course, we have to turn to this now, Taylor. We are about to get a chilly weekend, as we have touched on, and it's just in the nick of time. Today, one of Kansas City's most popular festivities officially open, and that is the ice skating rink at Crown Center. And Taylor, you were out there this morning. I should have pulled up some video, but you were out there and you were talking yesterday like, oh, you guys are just throwing me out there, but you did well.
Thank you.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Well, I practiced. So I talked to a woman there who was a figure skating coach, and so she said to get comfortable is just walk around on the ground, on the solid ground in the skates. So that's what I kept doing. But I also think that because I do a lot of yoga, that it helped me to stay balanced. Because there were some moments where I was like, okay, and you just tighten that core up. You just gotta get it together. But It was nice, and people kept talking about how nice the weather was. So I'm assuming that usually when this starts, it must be like super frigid outside.
Yeah,
I'm glad
and
that
there
I
you
wore a hat.
are.
So there it is. Yes. So that's
She
me
did
trying to keep it cute.
well.
I also stayed close to the wall. You noticed that,
She was
right?
holding on to it. But that's all right. That's all right. I would have been doing the same. And I actually told you the little walker thing that they have at
Yeah.
skating rinks. I told you to use that, and you didn't even. Did
I
you
don't
use
even
it?
think I don't even think they had them.
Okay.
That's
Well,
why I stayed
good.
close to the wall.
Yeah. Good. Good. Good.
So I did a couple of like practice reps and everything.
Yeah.
And so that's Tina McGuire. She is the marketing coordinator at Crown Center. And so
Right.
she talked about how, well, the free skate ended at 9. So now it's $10 to skate, $6 for the rentals
Yeah.
starting today.
Which
And
still isn't bad. Yeah.
and this was early. Like by the time we got to the end of the 6 a.m. newscast, it was packed. I mean, people were in their school uniforms.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So it was people of all ages.
Yeah,
Because I heard you say like, I mean, you have kids that go right before they
right
go to
before
school,
school.
which is crazy.
We talked to a gentleman. It's his birthday today,
Yeah.
his 65th birthday, and he
Yeah.
says every year for his birthday he likes to come out to the rink.
I love that.
So it was a really fun time, and like I said, I'm glad I took my hat. Okay, so I've never been to the rink before today, and as we pull up, I asked my photographer. I was like, "Is this outside?" I thought it was
Taylor.
indoors. So I'm glad that I had my hat.
Oh goodness.
Some gloves would have been good too. So if you're going on Sunday when it's
Yeah.
going to be cold
Super
outside,
chilly. But getting
bundle
that
up.
full winter experience if they go out
Yes.
there. No, I think that's so cool. The reason I said that's crazy with the kids in their school uniforms, I wish my parents would have done something like that.
Like right before school, let's go real
my
quick.
parents are like, we're not waking up any earlier than we already have
No,
to.
I talked to some kids and they were like, "Yeah, we've been up since 5 o'clock."
Oh,
Like
I love that.
they were
Something
ready.
to look forward to.
Yeah, and the mayor's Christmas tree was not too far from there, so I got to see it. It was still down on the ground, but I
Yeah.
think that they just
They
lifted
just put it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have more on that coming up in our later newscast. But that'll do it for us. We'll take another look at this video here. Taylor doing some hard work on the ice this morning, and there's still plenty of time to get out there and enjoy today and in the coming months.
Yep.
Now, speaking of the winter weather and your forecast, we do have meteorologist Warren Sears coming up next with what you can expect and how you need to prepare. Stay with us.
Hi, everybody. I'm First Warn 5 meteorologist Warren Sears. Happy Friday. What a beautiful day we have in store. It is all things positive because we do have a little shakeup and maybe a little bit more negative weather for probably a lot of you. In my opinion, it is not my favorite weather that's on the way, but some of you might be ready for a little shot of winter. So that's kind of our big story here over the next few days. We'll be really comfortable today. We've got big changes that start on your Saturday, and then Sunday significantly will be impacted. I'm expecting Monday morning also to be our coldest morning that we've seen so far this season. So that's what we have in store. Buckle up, and there will be times to get outdoors, don't worry. But I do think that for the most part this weekend is going to be not our nicest to be out and about that we've ever had. So let's get to your forecast here. A few things that you need to know. As you roll through the rest of today, it's our last real nice day. It's warm, it's sunny, we'll be near 70 in the afternoon. Then for Saturday, it's deceptive. And we've been saying that a lot this morning. It's going to start pretty warm. When you wake up, you'll notice the air is fairly humid, but it's warmer. There might be a little bit of drizzle, though, and a few spotty showers. And the big thing is, once you get through about early afternoon, your front comes in and it really sweeps your temperatures and brings your winds out of the northwest. And so the whole day, if you look at it on paper, you see 60. Well, that's going to be by about lunch, and then things change quickly into the afternoon. Then the biggest impacts are felt on your Sunday. The Sunday sting, it feels like a little wintry, much colder. It's not overly pleasant. There's a small chance at a flurry or two early in the morning. So that's what's to come later in the forecast. So that's why the first warn is in place. There will be some impacts to your outdoor plans. There will be impacts around to how you structure your weekend. So that's why we've had that first warn in place, because it is so warm out there today, and it has been really nice this week. It was a little shock to the system later on into the weekend. So 70 out there on your Friday, beauty of a day. Saturday at 60, and then Sunday only at 40. Talk about a wild swing. And I even think Sunday morning temperatures down into the 26, 28 degree range. So keep that in mind too. It's those are afternoon high temperatures out there on Sunday. And you factor in the wind, and it's going to feel even colder than that. So here's a look at current conditions now. I want to focus on today because it is so nice out there, about 60 degrees. We do have a west-northwest breeze at 13. It's not overly strong, but it is persistent. It'll be noticeable out there today, but I still think that we're going to be able to warm to about 70 degrees by the afternoon. Upper 60s, near 70 for most of us. Now, Friday evening, if you're trying to debate between, hey, should we go out Friday? Should we go out Saturday? Dinner outside Friday? Or what about Saturday? Outdoor events Friday versus Saturday? Friday, 100%. Friday is by far the nicer day. It's a quiet evening. It is the best opportunity for you this weekend to get out and enjoy some outdoor time, because once you get into your Saturday, again, things just start to shake up a little bit. So even at 6 p.m., still at 61, 53 at 9. So it will be chilly later on this evening, but very fall-like, very comfortable. The American Royal kicks off World Series of Barbecue, so that's going to be a great event for today. I believe First Fridays, I guess it is the first Friday, so First Fridays going on. So lots to look forward to out there across Kansas City today. But tomorrow, temperatures start to tumble. 60 is your forecast high. That's going to be midday Saturday. So that's not usually in your heart of afternoon, early evening time frame. That's going to be probably around lunchtime. Then high on Sunday afternoon of only 40. As I mentioned, that is a first warn because we are expecting some pretty impactful weather. All right, let me show you kind of what radar could look like here. And I also want to show you the opportunity for maybe a flurry or two. So this is the system that's coming through from the northwest. into your day on Saturday. That in the morning, our computers are suggesting a couple of spotty showers, especially near and north of Interstate 70 to start the day. The area of low pressure is going to pass by. Anytime you get close to an area of low pressure, you can expect windy conditions. So out ahead of the front, it'll be pretty breezy out of the southwest. And then once the front comes through on the backside of this low pressure, then your winds will gust out of the northwest. And that's a good sign that you can tell when the front has made it to your area. As soon as your winds shift on your Saturday into the afternoon, your front is there, and then it is off to the races with some colder air. Now, some of the computers, and we're talking probably the difference in a degree or two here, some of the computers are suggesting that we will be cold enough in the column of air for snow up across Iowa. Others are a little bit more rain. I think that some wet snow definitely on the table across Iowa. So for some reason you have to travel north on Saturday, you're heading to Des Moines, you're heading to northern Iowa, you're going to Minneapolis, anything up 35, or even to Omaha and up the river a little bit more, I would say be cautious, because I do think that there could be some snow up in that direction. I'm thinking since the ground is so warm, hopefully they won't have too many issues there, but they definitely could have their first snow of the season. Now, once this area of low pressure slides through and you can see the front coming in during the afternoon for us, once it clears us, the backside of the storm system is going to cool way off. There is an opportunity late Saturday night into early Sunday morning for a flurry or two. I don't want you to be alarmed if you are up and you see a snowflake or two, but it is not going to amount to anything, and I'm not worried about an accumulation or anything like that. But some of us could see a quick burst of flurries out there as the cold system starts to pull through, but then the general trend Sunday is for us to at least be sunny. So that's a positive out there on your Sunday afternoon. One thing I also want to know on your Sunday, the wind chills are going to be a big factor here. So let's talk through wind chills. That's not the right graphic. Let's talk through wind chills because they are going to be a very big part of this forecast. So it's going to feel as cold as the upper teens, low 20s in the morning on Sunday. But even in the afternoon, that northwest wind stays locked in place, and we will only feel like about 29, 30, 31 degrees. So while your actual air temperature is around 40, I think we're going to feel more like 29 or 30. That northwest wind is going to be gusting, I would say more sustained 10 to 20, maybe gusts up to 25. So it's not extremely strong, but it is going to have a very big bite to it. So that is all day Sunday. We'll lock into that on Sunday. So I want you to know that it's going to be a tough day, especially after what we've been through recently. It's been very nice this week. Today is super nice. Just expect large changes for your Sunday. Then you get into Monday morning and look at this. You've got feels like temperatures across the board in the teens for everybody. That is bitter. That is definitely a shock to the system, and that is a first taste of real winter season that we've had for this year. So buckle up. We've talked about it for days. Hopefully you're ready for it, and it thankfully is brief, because look at your Security Bank 7-day forecast. We've got temperatures at 70, 60, 40. 21 Monday morning, that's going to feel like the mid-teens out there. 42 Monday afternoon, that is at least moving in the right direction, but still pretty chilly. Sun is out Monday, and then we expect winds to switch back out of the south and a quick return to 60s. So this is a forecast all over the place. We are experiencing that commonly around this time of the year. We are expecting that to happen. This is normal, but definitely some of these are kind of take your breath away, a little shock to the system type of an event. So I would say if you can, indoor events definitely Saturday afternoon, evening, and Sunday looking very helpful here to help plan your weekend. And then we'll quickly be back into the 60s next week. A lot to look forward to there. Okay, everybody, that is what I have for you today. I hope that you enjoy all of that sunshine on your Friday. It's a beautiful day. The evening looks fantastic. You want a light jacket for your evening plans, but soak in that sun, because I think it's going to go away for a little while, and you'll have a little switch up of the weather pattern for a couple of days there. And that is what I have. So here we go. KC Current play on Sunday during the day. I would have many layers ready to go for that. I think the actual air temperatures for the KC Current game around 36 or so for kickoff. at least the sun is going to be out, as I mentioned. All right, have a great weekend, and Janae and Taylor will see you here shortly. Thanks for joining me, and again, we'll be right back.
Welcome back in to KCTV5 Plus. The time right now is 10:31. Union Station's newest exhibit is set to take visitors on an immersive voyage into the world of the Titanic, and it all starts tomorrow. So to tell us a little bit more about it, I am now joined by George Gasello, who is the president and CEO at Union Station. George, always a pleasure to have you here with me, but in person this time. How's it going?
It's great to be in the studio and be live and local.
I told George, just to let our viewers viewers in, he needs to come into the newsroom a little bit more and join us here on KCTV5 Plus. So I want to jump straight into this. Sure. I have always been so fascinated with Titanic and the history behind it. So if you could describe this exhibit with one word, what would it be?
It's an experience.
An experience.
I've been in this business for 18 years,
Yeah.
and this, I will tell you, is one of the most creative and probably the most moving stories that we've done in that 18 years. But it's fully immersive, and it really makes you feel like you're on the ship. You become a passenger, and you learn about it. But most importantly, you'll see artifacts that you've never had the opportunity to see before in a whole different light.
Yeah, and I know you said this is not your first go-round. I mean, this is what, your second time doing this exhibit?
Third time.
Third time doing this exhibit.
We opened Union Station 25 years ago with this exhibition, right after the sinking of the Titanic, and I'm not sinking, the finding of the artifacts. So this is a different exhibition, and if you've been to Union Station, you've seen it before, this is the exhibit that you must see because it tells the story in a completely different light. It's very emotional.
I love that. And so what was the process like? Because you touched on it just a bit, but to kind of bring the artifacts back to life. You guys have over 200, is that right?
Right. We have artifacts from the Olympic, the Titanic, and the Britannic. What most people don't know is there were 3 identical ships on the White Star Line.
Yeah.
And they're exactly the same. Now, the first Titanic sunk, Britannic sunk, but the Olympic survived until its closure in 1935 when they decommissioned it. But all of the woodworking on the Olympic is exactly what you would see on the Titanic. So when you're experiencing these magnificent full grand staircases, and then you'll turn to your left and you'll see wood that is exactly like the wood that would have been on the Titanic, because obviously that wood is gone and it's at the bottom of the ocean. So you learn about that. But I think this exhibition is so special because we also opened up our vaults from our collection, and we pulled out artifacts that have never been seen before from Kansas City in 1912.
Oh, wow.
You were gonna have
Like what?
Oh, well, the Greenlease Cadillac.
Okay.
Many people don't know about that Greenlease Cadillac, the Greenlease Cadillac family, and it is a Model A 1903 Cadillac.
Oh, wow.
And it would be exactly like the Cadillac or the Renault that was on the ship coming back over from France, and it sunk. So we'll have a chance to tell Kansas City stories, but also then we take you into Southampton. We take you on to the shipyards. You'll hear the birds. You'll smell the water, and then you'll actually see Titanic, and you'll be able to board Titanic. You'll get a passenger card. You'll know who you are, and then we take you on a journey, a journey that you've never experienced before.
Unlike anything you've ever experienced.
Right, and it's modern day technology.
Right, and it's for all ages. I know we kind of talked about that before we hopped on the live stream, but I mean, it's for young kids. I mean, it's for older adults as well.
Right. This is the opportunity of a lifetime for parents and grandparents to bring their children to really experience the very first history exhibition of their lifetime. They can tell the story of, well, I remember when I saw it in Kansas City, but now they're having a chance to see it. But what's different about it is they'll feel part of the story. At the very end, where there's a memory room, and you'll learn whether or not you've survived or not.
Oh, wow.
But then at the very end, we do something new where you'll actually wear Oculuses. So the kids can actually put an Oculus on, just like they're playing a game.
Right.
But we take you on a submersive submarine all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, and then kids will be able to see it. They become scientists, but then when they get to the bottom of the ocean, the artifacts come alive. So you're actually on the boat, you're learning it, and that's how we end it. So it goes from history to artifacts to modern day technology. So bring the children, of course, a good chance for them to really experience the first time a history exhibition on their own level.
George, I feel like a child getting so excited about
I wish I felt like a child. I was probably on the Titanic. I'm that old.
Oh, wow. So I guess my next question for you is, how long did it take for all of this to come together? Because, I mean, that's a lot that you guys are putting into this to really make this an immersive experience, right? So how long did it take?
Well, Union Station has become the premier touring exhibitions place in the United States. You know, we did Auschwitz. It took me nearly 5 years to create and bring that to life. But this one, We found this exhibition 6 months ago.
Yeah.
From Exhibit Hub. We signed the contract, and then the team came together and put this, for the first time ever, Exhibit Hub doing one in a museum. Our creative team has put some unique stuff together, and we've opened it up, and it got here 3 weeks ago. And now it's up and running, over 20,000 square feet, and there's a great gift shop at the end.
Oh, wow. So much goes into this, so many people as well. So I want to go back to the artifacts. I mean, what measures are in place to really preserve these delicate artifacts, including the sheet of music? I want you to tell us a little bit more about that as well and why it's so unique.
Well, Union Station is known for one of the best in the world's touring exhibition galleries. It's fully secure. Yeah. It has monitored 24 hours a day. It has air handling units, so we're able to hold the finest artifacts. And some of these that we have today are there. You've never seen them before. But when you have a chance to go through the exhibition and experience this, we have some historic antique jewelry that date back that is truly of the Gilded Age. But one of my favorite and most emotional pieces would be the music from the gentleman that was the head of the orchestra. Yeah. And when you watch Titanic, the movie, and you watch the gentleman playing his violin, that sunk, but it was with him. He had his sheet music on with him. So when you see this, you'll see the sheet music that he decided to play to calm people down. But at the very end, you'll see a rose that was on his casket that his wife pulled off the casket and saved with the information at his funeral. Oh. And so it's the card. So you have a chance to understand him. You understand his life, and you understand a time when he said, I'm going to go down with this ship, and we're going to calm everyone down. Men and women and children were on the boat. Men did not allow it, but he continued to do his service, and you have a chance to see that. And I think that really will really hit your heart when you see that and experience the human tragedy. 1,500 people perished on that ship. It was the world's worst transportation tragedy in all modern time.
And you all are shining a light, really bringing us and giving us the perspective, I should say, of the individuals that we don't necessarily always hear about when we hear Titanic. So I think that that's also very important. Can you elaborate on the recreated rooms? I mean, how similar are they to the original rooms that were on the ship?
Almost down to the complete perfection of it and the intention of it. Every piece, every wood is specifically artifacts and designed in a unique way. You'll see really amazing pictures. So when you get in one room, right before you hit the grand staircase, you have a chance to turn the corner. We love reveals in the Grand Plaza in our exhibition. When you turn it, you see the first class dining room. And it's a mirror, but it's also a picture. And it looks like what you would actually experience, but right in front of that picture that's backlit, that's so powerful, and the mirrors on either side, so it looks like you're in the room, is the silver and china from the Titanic. Wow. So you'll have a chance to see that. So I think that we tell the story. Right. You know, everyone knows the story about Molly Brown. She was in from Hannibal, Missouri, and what she did and how she first survived and how she saved so many people on the boat and went on to be a great philanthropist. There's even a story of a nurse, and she was on the first Titanic, and she survived. Then she went on and was a nurse on the Britannic, which is a sister ship that sank. And then finally she was on the Olympic. So she was the only individual that served on all three ships, and we tell her story.
Yeah, and this, I want to let our viewers in on something else. This is my first time hearing about this. So when you talk about people coming and learning something new, I mean, I didn't even know that before today, before having this conversation with you. So I know that this is not the only Titanic exhibit. We all know that. I know there's one in Branson as well, if that's right.
There are many.
Yeah, there are many. But one thing that I hear about these museums and these exhibits is that you can feel the water. Are you able to feel that when you go to this exhibit at Union Station? Just how cold it was.
Yeah, we take you into, after you enter the first class cabin, we take you a quick turn. Yeah. And you enter into an ice room. And we tell you the science behind the creation of 1,000 years ago of that iceberg. Yeah. And how it collides and what happens. Nature always wins over technology. Yeah. And that iceberg then takes down modern day technology of, quote, what we all thought was the unsinkable, but it's still one. But you learn about how it was created.
Yeah.
You see you're actually in an immersive ice room. Now, we don't have the ice wall this time, but we have the ice room. So it's blowing and it's very cold, and you would imagine that. But then at the middle of the exhibition, we put everybody on a lifeboat in a giant immersive room. And you'll actually have a chance to sit in the actual sized lifeboat, and you'll have a chance to watch Titanic and all the information as it sinks around you.
Oh my goodness.
And so it's pretty powerful. And then there's the Marconi room. There are so many rooms. You'll be in the boiler room when you'll see a wall panel that actually turns into water, and you'll start to feel as though you're sinking. And the room is turned, and so you start to feel what those passengers would have probably experienced, the horrific stories and the horrific emotions. I can't imagine what it must have been like.
Right. I mean, the real thing, right? So how long does it take to get through this entire exhibit, reading everything, taking a look at everything, and also, I mean, just the whole experience? How long does it take?
Well, I'm going to say probably about an hour and a half.
Oh,
but,
okay.
But you could spend a lot more time. But we've done, this is something very new for us. We have added a free audio tour so people can bring their cell phones, download the app. Please make sure to bring your ear pods to be nice to everyone else. And then that tells a much richer story as you go through. You'll be able to listen and learn about the audio tour. And then the Oculus at the very end. So a completely different experience than the typical Union Station historic exhibition. So you've got to come down and download that. And then the additional ticket for the Oculus room is an additional ticket. But if you buy the VIP pass, that comes with it. But I'd strongly recommend get your tickets now. The numbers are going to be big. It's our second most purchased ticket in our history next to Auschwitz. More people for pre-sale tickets. So if you think you're going to come during the holidays, you better buy it right now at unionstation.org. And please bring the children, get the VIP, and then get the Oculus.
And then it makes for a good Christmas present, right?
It does when you go. It makes for a great Christmas present. When you leave at the end, we've got a great gift shop. But we've also had a local organization by the name of Don Q Rum, and they have created a special rum that was in a sherry barrel that would have been similar to what was on Titanic. So you can buy that rum at Harvey's restaurant, and it's a great holiday gift.
I love it. Okay, so what do you hope that visitors take away from going to this exhibit? What do you hope they walk away feeling and thinking, George?
I hope they walk away with what we do the best at Union Station. We tell the story of people, and we preserve those memories. So when you're at Union Station and you're in the first part of the exhibition in the gallery, you learn about those of Kansas City that were in the 1912s. But we want to learn about the historic heroism, the stories of individuals, the passion. There are so many stories. I hope they walk away with, it wasn't just a tragedy. The tragedy was we lost people that we never know what they could have done. All those immigrants that were on the ship. And when you think about that, when the immigrants were coming over from Europe, those individuals would have paid in today's dollars $900 a ticket. So they've given up everything to come to the United States to have a life, and they never had a chance. Some did, but most of them didn't. And then when you think about the first class individuals, they paid nearly $125,000 for one ticket to be in the first class in today's world.
And I think, even in the midst of it all, I think the biggest piece of this is that we're still able to tell the stories of those individuals and exactly what happened on that boat. And also the other boats that we didn't even know about. I know I didn't know about. So, George, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I told you I am so fascinated with the Titanic history and the story there. And so I cannot wait to come and visit. So
please come down. You'll love it, and you'll enjoy it. And then when you're done with Titanic, go upstairs and see our great holiday experience that'll be opening soon.
And also, I want to touch on mention this before I let you go. The movie is also going to be
we're playing the movie
at Union
today,
Station.
so
Can't forget about that. Tell us a little bit more.
Well, we have the Titanic movie, and it's on our biggest screen in Kansas City. It's 5 stories tall and 70 feet wide, so you'll feel like you're on the boat. We did that last night. We did some really creative stuff. We had the gala last night, which is basically like almost our Met Gala, but people were going crazy about it. We showed some film clips. We talked a little bit about, there was even a Broadway musical. So we had music from last night from the Broadway musical. So this is an experience you'll have never experienced before at Union Station. Sights, the sounds, and most important, the emotions and the stories.
You heard it here, here first.
Yeah.
I do want to direct you to the Union Station website. Go ahead and get your tickets. How long is this going to be running on for?
We will definitely be here for the anniversary of the sinking in April of the Titanic. So that'll be a very big and special day.
Yeah.
So get your tickets for that day as well.
Go ahead and get them. And we do have more information on our website right now, KCTV5.com. You can also download the KCTV5 News app, and our very own Gabby Luma got an inside look, so you can take a look at that story as well. But again, it all opens tomorrow, and it'll be running for some time. It might make a great Christmas present. George, thank you so much for joining me here on KCTV5 Plus. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we have another exciting guest for you. Stay with us. Plate up, and we're just going to give it some pad. We're going to sit in silence for a little bit, and then I'll jump straight into it. We'll jump into the interview. Okay. Give me 1 second. Welcome back into KCTV5 Plus. The holidays are right around the corner, so that means it is officially flu season. For today's It's Your Health segment, Dr. Hillary Nash joins me from College Park Family Care Center at HCA Midwest Health to talk a little bit more about it. Dr. Nash, thank you so much for joining me here on KCTV5 Plus. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing well. Let's jump straight into this interview. So what are you all seeing in your practice and at area hospitals regarding flu season?
Well, we're definitely right on the cusp of cold and flu season, getting into the fall and the colder months. The actual influenza and RSV rates haven't started shooting up yet, but it could happen any day. We are seeing quite a few influenza-like upper respiratory infections, which can cause cold symptoms and make you feel miserable, but aren't actually the official flu and RSV. We're seeing a little bit of COVID still. So, it's just kind of a waiting game to see when those numbers start going up.
And I don't want to forget about the fact or look over the fact that we had a brutal allergy season. I know it attacked me pretty bad, as it does most years, but this year was really, really bad for me. So, when do we know that we need to go get treatment, and when should we know? What are the signs to look out for that it's just going to pass over? It's not as bad as we think.
It can be hard sometimes to tell the difference between just the mild common cold and allergies, although oftentimes allergies are going to respond to allergy medication, and colds oftentimes don't. But as far as the big question of, do I need antibiotics? Is this bacterial or is it viral? I always tell my patients, usually if you're having clear drainage, you're having typical cold-like symptoms, give it some time. A lot of times it is going to be a virus. The majority of the times it's viral, and we just need our immune system to have some time to fight it off. If you're blowing out thick, nasty drainage, coughing up a bunch of thick, nasty drainage, it's all day long, not just in the morning. These symptoms are lasting longer than a week. We're having high fevers. Those are things that probably you should see your doctor about to have evaluated.
Okay, so let's talk prevention and tips because you have parents who are coming from work and children who are coming from school, and if their coworkers or their classmates are sick, they're bringing that home. So, what do parents and what do children, what do they need to be doing right now to prevent really getting sick this season?
Well, obviously the basics of covering your mouth when you cough, washing your hands, trying not to touch your face. That's a lot of times how we get these germs. If you have a fever, then you need to stay home until you're fever free for 24 hours. So those basics are important, but it's also important to get your flu shot. We know that the flu shot is not going to be a guarantee that you don't get the flu, but it definitely can decrease the severity of influenza if it happens. We know that 90% of our kids that die from influenza in this country are unvaccinated. So we know that vaccination gives us some really good protection.
And you touched on it just a bit, but there's another virus that we've been hearing about, and that is RSV. What are the signs and symptoms of RSV?
RSV is a virus that causes cold-like symptoms in grown-ups and older children. We usually had cold-like symptoms even in older adults, but we've seen in the last few years, really since COVID, that RSV can cause a lot more severe cold symptoms in our elderly, which is why we're recommending vaccination with the RSV vaccine in people that are over the age of 60, and even younger people if they have risk factors. But we've always known that RSV causes a lot of trouble in our littles. So our newborns, our infants, RSV causes this copious amount of drainage and secretions. It plugs their airways. It fills up their tummies so they don't eat as well, won't nurse and take bottles as well. So these little kiddos will have a lot of trouble with RSV, with getting dehydrated and having respiratory distress. RSV is actually the leading cause of hospitalization for infants in our country. And it mainly happens in the fall and winter months. And so we do have some really good options that are having increasingly promising data with the RSV vaccine. There's two ways that you can get the RSV antibodies or protection to infants. The first is going to be through an RSV vaccine through pregnant women in the third trimester. They're going to have a baby during RSV season. They can get that vaccine and they can pass on their antibodies to their babies, which is highly protective for that first 6 months. And then in those babies that don't get protection through maternal antibodies, there's a monoclonal antibody that we can actually give to those infants, which gives them immunity for that first RSV season. So these are great ways to protect your baby and are showing really promising results with reducing hospitalization.
No, that is huge. And I think I want to emphasize on the point that this is the leading cause of why children, infants specifically, end up in the hospital. So very scary for parents. Very scary for mothers. What is the biggest mistake that you see that parents take during this flu season as well as regarding RSV?
I mean, I'm a family practice doctor, so I'm all about prevention. So one of the things that I think is most important is just to do whatever we can to prevent it from happening in the first place. I talk to my patients a lot about vaccines being kind of like a seatbelt. Are you going to get in a motor vehicle accident? Probably not. If you do, are you going to die? Probably not. But we still put our seatbelt on because it's our best way to protect ourselves and protect our kids. So I think that vaccination is super important. I also think that it's important that if you have that sense that something is not right with your child, of course, as parents, we worry a lot. And I know that even as being a doctor parent, that I know what that feels like. But I think we're given kind of an intuition. And if you feel like that something is not right and that your child seems like that they are having trouble breathing or that they seem like they're getting more lethargic, that it's best to get them evaluated. Don't wait too long. If you do get them evaluated and ends up being fine and something that just reassurance is needed for, great. But at least there's no regrets of feeling like that you should have taken them in and having them looked at.
I love that you said that because oftentimes we're always being told and keeping in mind that if something seems wrong with ourselves, then we need to go get it checked out. But you also have to look out for our little ones as well. So some great tips there and very timely. Is there one place that viewers can go to get more information as far as where to get care, Dr. Nash?
I know that we have a nurse line through HCA that you can always call, and that they're a great resource to be able to get information about if you need to go in or if there's just needs to have some watchful waiting and time. But there's also, the Care Now facilities, and of course, College Park is always glad to see new patients and to evaluate anybody that's concerned.
Dr. Nash, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me here on KCTV5 Plus. Until next time.
All right.
And for our viewers, for more stories like this one, you can go to our website, kctv5.com. You can also download the KCTV5 News app and click on It's Your Health.
Well, thanks for staying with us here on KCTV5 Plus in Kansas City. You are in for a treat this weekend as one of the funniest men out there will be performing at the Funny Bone tonight through Sunday. Now, you might know him as Daryl Philbin from The Office. We drew a big crowd because we have a lot of Office fans in the newsroom. But we know him as the Craig Robinson from Hot Tub Time Machine. This is the End, which is a favorite of mine, the Cleveland Show. And then also Daddy's Little Girl's got to throw it back for you. Welcome, Craig. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Yes. So welcome back to Kansas City. I know you said you've been here many times before. What have your past experiences been like?
It's all good. I think we went to a something Hall of Fame a couple of times. I had a family reunion here before.
Uh-huh.
And we went to the Black Baseball?
Yes, the Negro Leagues Baseball
League,
Museum.
Negro League. And then last time we did the NBA experience as something. And then this time it's going to be the World Series of Barbecue I'm looking forward to. So it's always something fantastic to do in KC.
Yes, it's never a dull moment. And also when you go to the World Series of Barbecue, apparently they have like a judge's ticket, so you can like buy a ticket to actually try three of the teams' barbecue.
Judge's ticket. Will I get to judge? Or I'm
Yeah,
just,
you can like try the food and let them know what you think.
that's too much pressure. It's like 600 barbecues, right?
Yeah, but I think with that ticket you can only try 3 teams. So I don't know exactly how that
Oh.
part works.
Well,
But-
that's weird.
Yeah, I know. But you can have some because I went in the past, and if you're just going, you can't necessarily try the food. So you got to get the tickets. You
What's-
can try the food.
You got to get the judge's ticket to try the
Mm-hmm.
food? Wait, why can't you try the food? What are you going for?
To smell it.
Okay. You say so.
Yeah. So, you talked about how you had a family reunion here, but you are a Midwestern guy yourself, from Chicago.
Correct.
And so I had mentioned to you earlier as I was looking up some video to pull of you, you were mistaken for another Craig Robinson. Michelle Obama's
Michelle
brother.
Obama's brother. Yeah, that's happened before. One time, I was dating this girl, and she called me up. She was crying. She was like, "Who is Kelly Robinson?" I was like, "What?" She's like, "Who is Kelly?" I don't know. You don't know Kelly Robinson? It turns out, I guess, Craig Robinson, Michelle Obama's brother, had gotten divorced and then married a lady, Kelly Robinson. I think that's what happened. But they were showing this article, and my picture was on there.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, imagine.
They were trying to blow up your spot. and
Right,
it,
right.
it didn't even have anything to do with you.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. When I saw that, I was like, I have to ask that question, especially being from Chicago. They're from Chicago. So I guess it could be a little easy to make that.
I'm one day he and I are going to cross paths and probably see each other and just start laughing.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to. That's a nice little inside joke there. But also, we talked about your background before you got to comedy, that you were a teacher and that you studied education in grad school. What got you into that in the beginning?
My mother taught I taught kindergarten through 8th grade music, so I ended up getting my master's degree in choral general keyboard education and secondary education. So I really was following after my mom. She rest in peace, bless her soul. She was this amazing musician, teacher, choir director, minister of music, all these incredible things, and I was just kind of following along. I didn't really know, but it just kind of I fell into it. Was kicking it with moms, and my father's an attorney, so he was trying to get me to go that route, but I was naturally into music.
Yeah, and speaking of which, we have this video here showing you some years back playing with James Corden.
Hey.
And look at you. Oh, okay. And you sing too?
A little bit.
And so you
On
incorporate
that day I
this
did.
with your set, right?
Yes.
The Nasty Delicious.
Yeah, the Nasty Delicious are not here. That's my band. But, yeah, I definitely bring the keyboard on stage. And then we have I don't even remember all that. But, yeah, and there's some audience participation. It's weaving jokes and music all together. It's a good time.
So who's your favorite artist? Like when you think of music, who, aside from your mom, who inspires you?
Oh, so many. I mean, Marvin Gaye, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Victor Borgia, Bach, so many.
Yeah, it's so many amazing artists out there who have really just shaped music, and their legacies are incredible. And so when you went to school is when you discovered your love for comedy, your love for acting. But when did you discover that you were funny? Because like me, I think I'm funny, but I don't think I'm like stand-up comedy funny.
I was in college when I just was overwhelmed because I couldn't stop being silly. Everything was a joke. I was, and then people would come back and say to me like, hey, we were trying to say what you said the other night, so little did I know I was doing bits at the time, but I didn't know I was just being Craig. And then something, I felt like, I always say this, felt like comedy chose me. At some point I was just like, I want to do this. And I wrote down to myself, you are going to be a great comedian. And I crossed out the words going to be. So, it was a manifestation going on.
Yeah, I'm going to say you are. And it's just, that's a good example of the power of words. And like you said, manifestation. I'm a journaler myself. So I do look forward to the days when I can go back and look at the things that I wrote about and, see them come to fruition. So that's really awesome. Yeah. And so getting into comedy, you got to start small, right? So in the early days of your career.
It's preferred to start small.
Yeah.
On mine. Some people do one set and be like, here's my DVD or DVD.
Like, nah.
What do they got out now? DVDs, tapes.
Here's my YouTube link.
Here's my YouTube link or I don't even know. Computer chip.
Your my USB drive.
Exactly. Yes. That's what I was trying to get to.
And then we use like these little memory card things in our cameras, so maybe that too. But do you remember, like, in the beginning, if there was a moment where it was just like, this is not landing, and then how did you recover?
Yeah, I moved to LA and I was on the road I was doing all right, but then everything just kind of stopped for like, I don't know, a year. And it was just like, okay, what's going on? But I remember being on the treadmill and I was and then I just was looking at the TV while I was on the treadmill, and I just stopped and I said, what are you trying to do? You trying to fit in that box? You can't get in that box. It was a weird thought. And then I shook it off and I just kept going. So I've always been able to, put my head down and just keep plowing through, because it is, as corny as it is, it's about the journey. It's about figuring it out and who you meet and learning to love along the way.
Yeah, I agree. And, doing the work is a real big part of it, because so many people have dreams and aspirations, but it's like, if we don't actually step out and do what it takes to get there, we'll never be able to realize it. So
exactly.
Yeah, that's very inspirational, not corny at all. So we've seen you do so many different things. You've been in movies, you've done sitcoms, you've had your own sitcom, you do stand-up. What are the differences between each? How do you kind of prepare for each, the different styles that are out there? I would suspect that stand-up comedy is not the same as, doing a scripted show.
Yeah, I mean, I have my act that is constantly, working on and trying to edit and this, that, and other. But and I go up in LA. I go up almost every night. If I'm there. And then if I'm on the road, I'm going, or if I'm not even performing, I'll find a place to perform and go up. So it's always kind of honing the craft there. With acting, it's, you have to delve into backstory. You got to figure out who the character is, and how you want to play this line and this, and memorization, and figure out, going by something note by note it can be tedious and boring, but you just got to keep over and over again. I'm a repetition person to learn things.
And I really think it's awesome too, just like the sound of your work ethic, that I think some people feel like at some point they like arrive and they don't have to do more, or, that there isn't more learning and growing to do. So I think that's really inspiring too, how you were saying you try to get up there every night if you can.
Yes. We were watching the video last night of how the World Series teams, before the World Series, they were warming up, they would still, they were practicing the basics. Top athletes in the world in baseball still going over the basic moves and the fundamentals. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can never forget those. I always gotta, keep sharp.
Yeah. So how do you keep sharp? How do you keep your jokes fresh?
Well, once you see the show, you tell me if they're fresh.
Okay.
Or not. But you gotta find a way to relive them, to tell them like it's the first time you're telling them, but with the confidence of knowing that you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of times in comedy, folks tell anecdotes. They use it as a form of storytelling. Talk about the importance of storytelling in comedy.
I mean, it's communication. Before I go up, my whole thing is praying for connection with the crowd. And I'm not the greatest storyteller, I'm gonna tell you that much. But storytelling is important, because it's how you connect with people. It's how you check in, you say, okay, we're here. I guess my act is kind of a story when you think about it.
Yeah.
All of ours is.
So over the summer, you told the people that you were quitting comedy. What was that all about?
Well, there was it was a shift in focus to do this thing with AT&T, but I couldn't stay away too long, clearly.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the recent announcement that LeBron made or they were saying like, oh, LeBron's going to make this big announcement, and we were thinking he was going to retire, and it was like a collab or something.
Oh,
but it got people.
Didn't he win an alcohol thing or something?
It was Hennessy.
Yeah.
which is funny, but it it captures our attention, right?
That's what it's about.
Yes.
You can't pay for attention.
Well, I know you talked about just this weekend and how you're going to be doing some shows from tonight until Sunday. So what can the people expect from Craig Robinson this weekend?
There'll be some familiar things. There'll be a lot of music. There'll be a lot music intertwined with jokes. You got Andre Kelly, who is hosting. You got Ty Rex, who's my feature, and it's a good time. Oh, you know what you can expect? You have permission to be corny at my show.
Yes.
So, because we all in it together, you're going to audience participate, and I'm going to be the leader of that.
I love that. Yeah, like I said, I think I'm funny. I don't think I'm stand-up funny.
Oh, maybe you come up and do 5.
Maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sunday night, Taylor
there.
Johnson, her debut 5-minute comedy set.
I always say in another life, I was supposed to be a comedian. So we might see how true that is. So myself and then Janae, we were talking to you off camera about how we really enjoyed Daddy's Little Girls. That's when I first saw you. Mm-hmm. And so I have a few years before I get to this point. But when I make my birthday post, I'm going to put, I'm 40 shouty.
40 shouty.
I'm 40 shouty.
I think that's how I got that job. We were doing the table read, and I was just like, threw out some improvising, and I was walking out. One of the producers was like, 40 shorty, you stupid. So
it was good.
That was like one of the first acting gigs I got, one of the first 3.
And you see just how it's just transcending time that we are, still talking about that, and just the impression you were able to make in that one scene with Gabrielle Union.
Right on.
Yeah, it was.
That's what's up.
And what was it? I guess what was it like working for Tyler Perry during that time?
Oh, he was so much fun. He was like, throwing jokes, and I'd catch it and do it in my voice, what have you. But he was great. He's a brilliant dude.
And so also we talked about how the folks, when you came in the door, it was like a whole crowd of people that came out. And they're like, oh my gosh, we love you from The Office. And I mean, The Office is on all the time.
Somewhere, yep.
Like all the time. What does that mean for you to have been a part of a project that, I mean, people started over? I mean, The Office is it's incredible.
It's an honor and a blessing. It feels like you have friends everywhere. It's kind of unbelievable. A little surreal to look back and I'll even watch episodes and be like, and not that I'm not on. I'm like, how did I even manage to get on this show? It's incredible. Yeah. So I love every bit of it. I love when people, want to rehash scenes, and even though some scenes I don't even know what they're talking about. Oh man, the episode where the bricks. I'll be like, okay,
all right, but, whatever you say.
It's all good. It's bring it.
All right, so tell us a little bit about In Your Dreams.
In Your Dreams is it comes out on Netflix. You can set your Netflix reminders. November 14th is animation. I play a character called Baloney Tony. I am a stuffed animal, a stuffed giraffe, and I get silly in this one. It was so much fun. It's the cutest movie I've ever been a part of. When I tell you, it's this brother and sister, as you can see there, who they end up lucid dreaming because the sister's trying to figure out how to save her family. Some adult themes in there like parents fighting and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's really amazing. Alex Wu's the director, and it's just a magical a beautiful experience, and I hope people, family's gonna dig it. I hope people just catch it and run with it.
I love that. Baloney Tony.
Baloney Tony, watch out. This Christmas, y'all, get your Baloney Tonys.
Yes. And so just before we go, what would you like to share with the folks watching today? Just those who have supported you up until this point and who will be coming out to the show this weekend.
Thank you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for, what you did. If you keep going, thank you. And if you come on out, I'll see you. And thank you. Yeah. But it's a lot of love that I'm shown, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, and with that being said, this weekend, Craig Robinson will be at the Funny Bone. Let's see, that's Friday through Sunday. Tickets run between $36 and $54. Is that what I see? Yep, so some jokes, some music, some audience participation. I might get my big break on the stage. You just never know.
And it might. You show up, you going up. Come on now.
Yes. So I hope.
If not that, you could do a song.
Oh, you know what? I can't sing, but I was in the choir in high school.
Oh, well then you can sing.
Church people are like the best supporters.
What I know, right?
By the second
Let them
verse,
use you. Take your time.
Look, that's exactly it. By the second verse, I thought I was Beyonce. I had the Mariah Carey hand going, like trying to hit the runs and everything. That was a one-time thing. Oh, hit it up here. Sometimes I get tempted to do that here with the mic. It's got that look.
Come on now, you got this. It's TJ show.
Well, thank you so much, Craig, for coming up and chatting with us. This was so much fun. And we are going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.